So what's new this month? What is our content this month? What's our tool set this month? And it's about healthy conflict. And there's real value to having an organization whose culture embraces and trains on how to have healthy conflict in the workplace. It's really, really important. Why is conflict important? Why is conflict difficult? And how can we have healthy conflict? That's our agenda for this tool set. The first one then, why is conflict important? Well, conflict, first of all, when we can have healthy conflict in Fishers, it allows us to have commitment and accountability. Right? This comes back to the lessons from 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. If you remember, if you've read that book, 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, I'll give you a very brief takeaway that I had from the book was high-functioning teams all have 5 characteristics. High-functioning teams have 5 characteristics. The first one is trust. And the most important one, I would argue, it's the foundation. This will build up to a pyramid. But if we don't have trust in each other in a team, we can't have the rest of the characteristics of high-functioning teams. And it's not just trust that we're telling the truth to each other, but it's what Pat Lencioni calls vulnerable levels of trust. Meaning, we can be wrong. We can be vulnerable. We can challenge. We can say, I messed up. I let you down. Or, I'm disappointed in you. When we have that kind of vulnerable levels of trust in an environment that's safe to be vulnerable, then we create an environment where it's safe to have healthy conflict, where it's safe to disagree, where we know our disagreement, our different opinion will be respected. Right? So if we have a safe environment, then we can embrace the beauty of difference of opinion, of diversity of backgrounds and experiences. And when we can agree on a goal and disagree on how to get to that goal in a healthy way, we've got real power to make much better decisions, have much more innovation in a company. That's the key to healthy conflict. And when we've had that healthy conflict and we've disagreed, and I was heard, my ideas were heard, we didn't go that direction, we went a different direction, but I was heard, I was respected, I added to the richness of the conversation. Because of that, now, even though we went a different direction, now I'm committed to that, right? I don't get in, disagree either quietly or verbally, and come out of the meeting and have you ever heard of this, the meeting after the meeting? You say, that's not gonna happen. He'll never do that, she'll never do that, right? Those are unhealthy cultures. We've gotta be committed. Yes, all right, I'm in, that's the decision we made, we're doing it. So then you get commitment. If we have commitment on our teams, then we have accountability. Between trust and commitment, we have accountability, peer level accountability, to go do those things that we committed to. And if we're doing all that, we're going to achieve the results of the team. Not the results of this individual or that individual or this department or that department, but the results of the team. That's high-functioning teams, and you'll look at the core of this here is healthy conflict. Founded on trust, healthy conflict leads to commitment and accountability in our teams, in our organizations. And therefore, because of that diversity of opinion, it leads to more innovation and better decisions because we have all of those viewpoints. And finally, we can avoid, and this, as far as I know, a term I made up called organizational cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance, I certainly didn't make up, and I won't even claim to understand it very much, but cognitive dissonance, in my mind, is a feeling of anxiety humans get when their behaviors don't match their values. Right? So you have a set of values and you do something outside of that set of values. That causes cognitive dissonance, meaning I'm being something who I don't believe I should be, and that causes anxiety. I'm sure I'm bastardizing cognitive dissonance as a definition, but that's my definition. I'll run with it, and then I'm going to apply it to organizations. And when an organization says, this is who we are, this is our core values, this is our vision, our mission, this is what we are as a company, Fishers, and then we go as leaders and make decisions contrary to that, or they see behaviors contrary to that, or we allow and tolerate behaviors contrary to that, that causes organizational cognitive dissonance. You say, Chris, you said we're this, and we're actually being this. That causes stress, anxiety, job dissatisfaction, and probably a desire to leave the company. So we can avoid organizational cognitive dissonance by having healthy conflict, by saying, hey, colleague, I just saw something that to me seemed like it was inconsistent with our values. Can we have a discussion about it and have healthy conflict and talk about it? Likely there's another story there. They're not intentionally acting that way. And by having healthy conflict, we're learning and growing and bringing it back together where our values are actually exhibited day in and day out, avoiding organizational cognitive dissonance.